thanks so much, to Gallery. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and Wanta Gig fans and other things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu! It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To all my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawang magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
PFL action continues at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium for match 2 of our triple header on this Saturday. It's a big match between two teams who are trying to get themselves further up the table. Tuloy FC looking for their 3rd victory in this season, taking on Philippine Army, who have been struggling so far this season. It's an interesting start to the game after a lengthy delay, almost an hour, because of light issues here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. But
sometime, but nevertheless, exciting matchup here tonight. Again, it's going to be a chance for a 6-pointer. Although Tuloy are better off with 6 points.
And a kickoff underway here. Tuloy getting us started. They're in their white kits and Philippine Army in green.
Yeah, it looks like Sapal is just going to be the anchor for this Army side. So everything going forward is going to come through him. He's the deepest lying midfielder. So that means he's going to have to start and break up attacks at the same time, like he did there.
Going for it. Oh! Gonna be a great goal! Unbelievable! From just in front of the halfway circle, Royket Bedia spotted the keeper off his line and fired in a classic there. Unbelievable. Look at this.
So close. Of course, halftime doesn't count as a sub window.
Halika's ball gets through. Bedia is off his line and it's in the back of the net. Justin Lupango finding the equalizer. Tuloy on the board. It's 1 apiece.
Yeah, and this is a goal born straight out of the Tuloy philosophy. You can see the 1-2 combination on the ground and the finish.
Just have to equalize, and we are all square after 45 as we take a look at these statistics. That to Lupango, who was with a lot of room on the left flank. Looking for the run of Sawat, who is onside. This will be the second for Tuloy. Fantastic run in behind for Saidel Sawat, who gets the go-ahead here for Tuloy.
Yeah, you know, Philippine Army will be disappointed because, again, they've played 2 games already, 2026.
It's going to be a one-on-one here. Saud taking on his man, gets past his man. It's a fantastic finish. Cyril Saud, unstoppable.
Well, Cyril Saud is now in this flow state of his, and when he is in this state, he is. Yeah, for Tuloy, they're gonna go up to 9 points.
Oh! There is a goal back here for Philippine Army. Antilo has that one slip through his hands. And Joshua Gatinao can cut into this advantage.
We play there. In the top of Philippine football here, the PFL. Such a physically demanding league.
Shot! What a goal! Incredible finish from John Lloyd Halike, who just rifled in Tuloy's 4th goal of the game.
Well, you know, I was just about to say, I think Tuloy need to see a little bit more of Halike.
Yes, in a short period of time.
Yeah, credit must go to Taketomo Suzuki for the program he has instilled and the philosophy he has instilled.
Halike, can he find a second here? Creating a bit of room, and it is a fantastic finish. Only needed a little bit of room. He manufactured it and absolutely smashed it with his left foot to make it 5-2 to Tuloy. John Lloyd Halike, all of a sudden with a brace.
And
Sapal trying to get it around the corner. Talam. Halike. It's a good ball forward. He's going to get it back. Halike for the hat trick. Incredible. The 21-year-old going on a tear here in the last few minutes. And what a last 10 it's been for him. Ariola was making a good run, and that will be it. Final whistle at the Rizal Memorial Stadium as Tuloy will get their 9th point of the season, with John Lloyd Halike adding.
Yeah, thanks so much, to Galilei. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and what Tagig fans and other things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu!
It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To all my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawa mo suporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want for us to give them.
Via the women's team, and now they're looking. Look at the likes of Christian Schaffner there on the pitch.
When we see their starting 11, Landreth at the back.
Manila Digger. And it's not a very tall or physical. Bouncing around dangerously inside the box. Still alive para sa Stallion. Looking for a push on Nieras, nothing given. Opportunity now for Digger! Off the post! Limbo gets the ball into the box. A lovely chance.
Digger, Limbo gets across inside the box, miscleared by Villarreal.
Nieras. Trying to return that pass. Opportunity, Stallion. Into the danger zone. Asong. Ooh. Turn from Schrock. Chance here. Diallo. Opportunity now for Macmillan. Stopped by Asong.
Clear-cut opportunity.
Kedman is already proving to be very much involved in today's game. Villarreal, not the best of clearances. Limbo's ball. And of Stallion Laguna would deal with the physical threat of Manila Digger, and so far they've done so very well. Awkward position for the goalkeeper. Bouncing around. Cisse, he's got support. Usman Guy from Manila Digger. What a save. Let's see, right there, that hit the head. But look at this. Into Guy. Touch was out of his feet. Oof. It's quite a coming to. Very well could decide this one. Galeana. Opportunity for Diallo. Fantastic finish. The debutant opens his account in style. Stallion Laguna in front.
And as you said, in a game of fine margins. Session in the attacking third.
Landreth. Chance. That upper hand, and on top of that, they'll be making a real statement.
On YouTube or on Facebook, make some noise.
Toure, left-footed, bouncing around dangerously. And Landreth clear. And perhaps his... Oh, red card.
Of Stallion Laguna.
Looks like Stefan Schrock is going to be the one. When you're not involved in the play, it's for...
In the first place.
Delivering the Nishioka, you'd think. Cisse. Nishioka. Nishioka gets it to Guy. Deflect. Ball will enter the box once more. Landreth gets a hand to it. Filonco sends it back in. Chance! Incredible block. Great shot. Chance para sa Manila Digger with these aerial balls so far.
Still down 1-0 against Stallion Laguna.
And what a statement this would be. Opportunity for Watanabe. Unbelievable finish. A moment of magic from nothing.
And Watanabe out.
And that's it. What a game. Heartbreak. afternoon from the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium, where it is game 2 of our triple header on this Saturday. Classification round match between Philippine Army and Tuloy FC. So glad you could join us on the Philippines Football League channels. Jing Hamlang and Ed Lisaba to call the action on this one.
Yes, it's a very warm afternoon here in the Rizal Memorial Stadium, where we have a fantastic opener to our classification round. Two teams who have not been on the best form, but very much eager to change that narrative and gain a massive 3 points to help them advance further up the classification round, to prove that they have a lot to display next year and a lot to improve upon next year. Those two teams being Tuloy FC and Philippine Army FC.
3 degrees cooler than it was in the kickoff of our first match. And that will be a pleasant development for the players on the pitch as we take a look at the classification round standings.
As you can see here on the table, for majority of the season, Tuloy was comfortably in 8th place, right behind Maharlika. But given their recent run of form, not one to be envious of, they have not won a game since February 7 earlier this year. And the last team that they beat here, Jing, was tonight's opponent, Philippine Army FC. This is going to be a massive opportunity for Tuloy to regain their form, get back to winning ways, and earn a massive 3 points that would inch them closer to Don Bosco Guerrilla United and try to reclaim that 8th place on the table.
You can see there on the standings, goals for 27 para sa Tuloy this season. At nabanggit mo sa akin, Ed, na 8 lang ang na-score nila since the turn of the new year. The form has dropped off a little bit for Tuloy, and certainly they have a platform and an opportunity here to rediscover their ways up against a Philippine Army side that have struggled all throughout the season at nagpapatuloy pa rin ang kanilang mga struggles in recent matches.
It hasn't been an easy season whatsoever for Philippine Army FC. A lot more downs instead of ups. The main highlight result that they had this year was that 1-1 draw against Maharlika FC. I think that was the best defense that they've played this entire season. If they can replicate something like that against Tuloy, this could be the match where they could finally get that first 3 points on the board.
Ang sabi nga natin medyo naghihirap nga ang Philippine Army this season, but since the start of the second round, we saw a shift in their demeanor, perhaps going back to ways that have been a little bit more familiar to them. They've been more defensively resolute, they've been dangerous in transition, and as a result, we're seeing scorelines that are a little bit closer and more competitive.
That's right, and keeping that in mind, their latest result was a 4-2 defeat against Valenzuela PB Mendiola, which on paper is not a bad result considering how leaky the defense for Army has been. But like you said, they've been a lot more compact, a lot more disciplined. Yes, they're still letting in some goals here and there, but it's a far better improvement from the performance that they were showing on the first round. Take a look at the starting lineup as well. It's a 4-5-1 system here today for Coach Ronel Hener. Usual suspects here. Starting in goal, Mark Anthony Badia, who has been one of their most consistent performers this season, one of the most underrated goalkeepers as well. He has insane reflexes. And of course, you have the likes of Jimuel Ariola, John Celis, Royken Badia, Darwin Regala, who has done wonders for this defense ever since he joined in the winter transfer window.
No Jomari Sapal on this one for them, which is going to be a real disappointment for Coach Ronel Hener. But they still have the likes of John Celis, who has been a player who has provided a bit of inspiration from them going forward. And of course, Jimuel Ariola, ang kanilang forward na ipinapakita pa rin na ang taas pa rin ang kalidad niya pag nabibigyan siya ng mga oportunidad.
Exactly. See Jimuel Ariola, in 13 games, he has scored 4 goals. He is the joint top highest goal scorer in the squad, right next to John Celis with 4. And we can definitely look to him and John Celis to lead Army's attack here tonight as they are driven more than ever to gain that first win of the season.
So yun ang dalawang players that we will keep a close eye on in this afternoon's match as we throw you over to their coach.
From Philippine Army football team. Expectation po namin ngayong game, although lahat yung kalaban all Filipino, so magandang laban to para sa amin. So, hopefully, makuha din namin ngayon yung game na to. First game, third round, sana manalo kami. Yung team, okay naman siya. Ready naman always. Thank you.
Coach Ricardo Besite there in place of Ronel Hiner. They want to turn that 0 into a 1 today, as they are currently in 11th place, but they have an opportunity to push up in the standings and really challenge Mendiola's spot, but they're going to need to have a good result here against Tuloy. At yan ang kagandahan dito ng classification round. It's going to be matches only against teams that are a little bit closer to your level in the league, which means every match is an opportunity to really pick up some well-deserved points. Meanwhile, tutukan naman natin ang Tuloy FC. Napakaganda na kanilang first round. This second round has been a different story for them.
Very different story indeed. It's been a tale of two halves this entire season for Tuloy FC. Like you said, a fantastic start in that first round. They did lose quite a few games in that round, but they've shown us exactly what they could do. Highly effective attacking plays, very exciting offense. Some of the most exciting young prospects in Philippine club football in this team as well. But in the second half of the season, ever since 2026 started, it's been a completely different story. The form has just fallen off a cliff. The same attacking plays that sparked so much excitement in the first round, just nowhere to be found this entire round. Their last win, like I said earlier, was back in February 7 of 2026, a 6-2 result against Philippine Army. But ever since then, it's just been a downward spiral, a couple of draws here and there. Their latest game against Philippine Army was a 2-2 draw, courtesy of a heroic performance by Mark Anthony Bedia yet again. And their latest draw was against Mendiola back in March of 2026. But just along the way, Jing, some very heavy defeats here for this young squad. But like I said earlier, that's the beauty of the classification round. They're going to take this opportunity to go back to winning ways, as we see a 1-4-4-2, a experimental formation here for Coach Taketomo Suzuki.
Injuries have not been kind to Tuloy in this second round, but they do welcome back some key players. John Lloyd Halike is back in the mix. Cyril Saud available for selection today alongside his brother Cyron Saud. Diaz is available, Lopanco is there, Nunez is there. They're looking close to full strength here in this first 11.
This is as close as you can get to Tuloy's best version of this squad. Like you said, injuries have not been kind to this squad at all. They are missing a lot of key rotation pieces, key bench pieces. So the team that you're seeing here right now, the starting 11, they're most likely, or most of them are likely going to play the full 90 minutes given how sparse the bench options are. But take a look at this lineup. Michael Antilo Jr., one of the most exciting young goalkeepers in the entire league. You also have Captain Harry James Nunez looking to control that midfield, dictate tempo, and control the play. They're going to look to him to settle the offense and link everybody together to break down a stubborn Philippine Army defense, which is going to be their main challenge tonight.
Kaya ang main player to watch natin para sa Tuloy ay si John Lloyd Halike, who is their key forward and has been a man capable of scoring in quantity, but also in terms of quality goals. But he's been in and out of the lineup in recent time, and you hope that his form will be rediscovered, and he's got a fantastic opportunity to do that here against Philippine Army. Now, before we get started, let's listen in to a member of the coaching staff of Tuloy FC.
I think binigay na yung preparation sa expectations of players. Same ba rin naman. I think they are more hungry. Yun lang naman. They are more hungry to win, to score, than performance. I think sure kami na may bibigay nila yung best nila ngayon. Lagi naman nilang binibigay yung best nila, pero I think ngayon nakalock in sila para sa game na to, and then hindi lang sa game na to, then sa mga following games. I think expectation natin yung Tuloy FC way, I think gagawin pa rin naman nila, and then more expect lahat ng fans, ng mga tao na nanonood ngayon, ibang lasing Tuloy ang magpo-perform today.
Gotta love that from Brian Capistrano, and you hope it is going to be more vintage Tuloy today against Philippine Army.
What an exciting way to kick off part of the classification round. An all-Filipino clash featuring two teams more driven than ever to gain a very valuable 3 points to go ahead and climb up the table, their final chance to climb up that table. And let's see where they can go from here.
It's a perfect test for Tuloy and their fluid style of play to go up against the grown men of Philippine Army, who are usually with a reputation of bringing a bit more of a physical style of play, and how they will be able to deal with that challenge will remain to be seen as we approach kickoff here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It is the classification round now of the PFL, with one more match on this Saturday triple header to look forward to. That will be the final elimination round match of this 2025-26 season, and that will be Stallion taking on Manila Digger. But our focus is solely on this contest between Philippine Army and Tuloy FC.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let us welcome the teams of Philippine Army Football Club and Tuloy Football Club.
So here we go. Let's take a look again at the lineup here of Philippine Army in their 4-5-1 formation.
A 4-5-1 formation, Jing, that can only mean one thing. It's a heavy prioritization of the defense and the defensive midfield. Look to them to link together to put a stop to Tuloy's fluid offense. I think that's the name of the game. They know Tuloy wants to play possession-based football. They want to play quick counterattacks and play down the wings. A 4-5-1 formation means that they're looking to play a low block on a true Army specialty and negate any sort of midfield passes, any through balls, to really stifle this Tuloy offense and prevent them from doing much danger to their own box.
J. Mark Cortez with the armband for Philippine Army alongside Harry Nunez of Tuloy. It's going to be Crismel Cayabyab in the middle today alongside Hamid Pasion, Brian Puergo, and Aldous Mirafuentes II on the sideline. Taketomo Suzuki on your screen, the mastermind behind this Tuloy program, as we take a look at the 4-4-2 of Tuloy FC.
It's a complete opposite to what Army is looking to deploy here today, a 1-4-4-2, or basically just a 4-4-2. Tuloy, they have a reputation of wanting to play down the wings, play quick, play smart, play with a high press and make smart passes. I think that's the key that they're looking for to unlock a very stubborn defense. Just force them out wide and try to attack them down the middle. Let's see if they can do just that.
Not a lot of options on the bench for both sides. So we're expecting the players on the pitch to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this contest. Just a minute away from kickoff here. Second of our triple header on this Saturday. Jing Hamlang and Ed Lisaba calling the action. And what should be another fantastic game in the PFL. Tuloy getting us started. As we can see here, Army not looking to engage high, as you called it, Ed. Looking to absorb a bit of pressure here this afternoon.
You can see a bit of that Army formation starting to develop. A solid back four with one defensive midfielder, a 6, looking to anchor the midfield, trying to link up with the defenders if necessary, if Tuloy ever managed to push the ball a bit up higher. But speaking about Tuloy, you can see what they're trying to do. They're not rushing into anything. They're looking to play it slow down the tempo. The game just started after all. Try to avoid mistakes. They nearly cost themselves there. Try to advance the ball into the wide areas to really stretch this defense apart. But so far, Army doing a good job of holding together.
Finding a bit of room in the middle. Army closing the gaps quickly. Tuloy staying patient here as they work from side to side. Halike finding a bit of room in the pocket. And he's been brought down there. Whistle is blown. Foul will be called against Darwin Regala.
It's good to see John Lloyd Halike using that burst of pace to exploit the wide open areas. We haven't really seen that from him in his recent performances. Granted, he had a nagging injury prior to this game, but it's good to see him start to show some glimpses of the John Lloyd Halike that we saw in the first round.
Kasama ni Harry Nunez. Si John Lloyd Halike, isa sa mga players na may experience with the national teams. Cyril Sawat now lining things up. Looks like he has an opportunity to go direct here, off the wall. Celis gets it right back. Ariola almost lost possession, looking to switch the play. Attack breaking down for Army. Ball over the top. An aspect of the game that has been becoming more frequent for Tuloy as they look to find different ways to break down the opposition.
It's been one of their main challenges this entire season, really. If they're going up against a team who knows exactly how Tuloy is going to play, of course, one of the easiest counters to it is to play a low block, play stubborn defense, because so far, whenever Tuloy have encountered such an issue, they haven't really been able to beat it, you know, to unlock that puzzle. That puzzle. So this match right here is a good practice per se of some key tactics that they could do to unlock low block defenses, so that way they can carry it over to next season as well.
Probing on the left flank. Ball over the top. Trying to unleash Cyril Sawat, who's been out of action in recent times. He's been a real standout this season.
Cyril Sawat, easily one of Tuloy's most exciting prospects. In 19 games, he has managed to score 9 goals and provide 5 assists for his team. A massive positive in terms of goal contributions. And here comes an unlocking pass.
Safely into the hands of Mark Anthony Badia. Looked like the ball bobbled for a moment.
But that was a good idea there. That's exactly what Tuloy's looking to play. Like one of the key ways to unlock a stubborn defense is to play a solid through ball that can cut right through that defense. We can see that here on the replay. I believe that was John Lloyd Halike turning playmaker, unleashing Justin Lupango, but unfortunately the ball just a bit to the right, headed right towards Mark Anthony Badia, who did a good job of staying ready and to snuff out that attack before it materialized.
We talked about Cyril Sawat having a great season. Lupango, also one of the players that has really broken through and has made a name for himself. Despite the struggles of his team, a lot of the times he's been the silver lining in those games.
Justin Lupango, he's another one of those players similar to Cyril South, who is naturally a winger, but can also be deployed as a striker, as a 9. In his 19 games this season, he is also Tuloy's 3rd highest goal scorer with 6 in 19 games alongside 2 assists. So it's quietly been a very solid season for this young man, and hoping he can take that momentum into this game as well as the remaining classification rounds to really show what he can do.
Napag-usapan natin na medyo nagsistruggle lately ang Tuloy, but still, when you look at players like Lupango and Cyril South, nakikita mo how impressive this program is. At kailangan natin parating alalanin na batang-bata pa yung squad nitong Tuloy, with prospects as young as 17, and a lot of their players are under the age of 23. And that is a very impressive list of players to be developing in such a short span of time.
Siguro yun din yung career path ng mga players of Tuloy. If you can recall, Harin de Gracia, who had a very solid round 1 with Tuloy FC as a defender, or as a central defender, or as a wing back, earned himself a move to a much bigger club in Maharlika FC, started his first game with Maharlika, and even scored a goal for that club already. So that could be a very promising future for a lot of these Tuloy players. If they continue impressing the way that they have, I have no doubts whatsoever that they'll be earning moves to much more solid or much bigger PFL clubs in the future to really advance their career and show what they can do at a much bigger stage.
Sigurado, tutok na tutok ang mga teams dito sa Tuloy FC, because you will be gaining access to extremely technical players as Army here are breaking through on the left flank. Flooding the box with white shirts. Can they find a teammate? Not quite. Tuloy clear, and it's their turn to transition. They've got numbers going forward.
This is exactly where their most dangerous transition play, using their youth and their pace to really take it to a much older Philippine Army side. But make no mistake, these guys can defend. Here comes Tuloy again.
Couldn't find its way back to Halike. Army will survive that foray forward from Tuloy.
And now it's their turn to attack on the transition.
Turning into a nice open match. Loose pass. Tuloy venturing forward on the left side. Aguila stepping on the brakes. Halike in more of a floating role here for Tuloy. Denied a return pass. Regala stepping forward. A nice even affair here. Closing in on 9 minutes.
You can see what Army's trying to do here. Every time they manage to stop a Tuloy attack, they just slow things down. But they're making sure that Tuloy plays to their speed, because they don't want to be chasing Tuloy around all night. So you're gonna want to save your own stamina, especially because Army themselves, they do not have many options on the bench. So they're gonna want to be smart about conserving player stamina while they're on the pitch.
Especially now na medyo mainit-init pa dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. Second half will be a different story, of course. Later on in the evening. Holding on to possession well here, Army. Looking for that diagonal ball. That was well cut out. Rakoy getting it back. Lupango. There's a great intention to that pass. Medyo mabigat lang para kay Denmark Urakoy.
It was a good idea, but if they can pull off any one of those passes, that is a sure chance on goal that either Lupango or Halike or even Cyril South can finish. They just need to start nailing those passes, but it's the right idea.
Regala going long. It's a great defensive header. Grizola under pressure again. Calmly back to the goalkeeper, who's had a quiet afternoon so far, Michael Antilo Jr.
And it's got to be a nice change of pace for Michael Antilo Jr. as well, especially how for a majority of this year he's been pretty much active on defense from the get-go. Given how much his team has been on the back foot for a majority of this season, it's got to be a nice change of pace for him to just relax for a while, especially not conceding in the first 11 minutes.
Yan din yung kagandahan ng classification round. You know, you're going to be able to create a bit of momentum going up against teams of a similar quality and not have to deal with, you know, facing Philippine Army 1 week and then going up against the title contender in Manila Digger the next, where the disparity of quality is just so wide at the moment.
And no disrespect to Philippine Army, of course, whatsoever, but if you're Tuloy, you'd much rather play these guys on a regular basis instead of facing off against the likes of Usman Guy or Finn McDaniel or Patrick Reichelt every weekend and just get absolutely mollywopped in terms of goals allowed.
Yeah, there's been some very one-sided score lines that Tuloy have been a part of. Again, in those matches, even against such tough opposition, nakikita pa rin natin yung kalidad nila in moments of play. However, certainly they are not quite there yet in terms of their level of competition. So it will be a breath of fresh air for them to be up against teams that perhaps they can be confident that they are a little bit more on a level playing field.
It goes to that old saying na malayo pa pero malayo na. If you consider their debut season in the 2024 transition league, where I believe each game just played 14 games, Tuloy, it wasn't a great debut for them, but they did show glimpses of what they could do. They're showing glimpses. They have shown glimpses of what they can do this season. It's a major improvement from the last time that we saw them. So I have no doubts that the only way up for this club is up.
Flag is raised on the far side. Lopango just gone a little bit early. It has not been seen by the referee just yet. But eventually, Chris Melcayabyab will see that his colleague has had his arm raised. That flag will mean the ball will return to Philippine Army.
That attack pretty much just came out of nowhere. It caught me off guard mid-sentence. But that's exactly what Tuloy can do at their full potential. Quick counter-attacking plays that just completely catch you off guard.
Great ball forward from Celis. Napaka-awkward nung position na yun para kay Michael Antilo Jr. Given the circumstances, he did very well. That's going to be a foul on Jimuel Arreola as he clips the standing leg.
How about this? We haven't seen this much at all this season, but Philippine Army pressing an opposing defense. It's usually the other way around.
Halike getting furthest forward. Opportunity here for Tuloy, and that is the opening goal.
It was only a matter of time, but that was the right play. It was the right idea. They finally were able to connect on one of those passes, those line-breaking passes, courtesy of John Lloyd Halike, turning playmaker, playing a floating role in that 4-4-2 with responsibilities of playmaking and finishing. But this time, what a beautiful pass to Cyril South, who just nods it home. Mark Anthony Bedia caught off guard, was scrambling but just couldn't get to that ball. A perfect diagonal pass. That's very hard to pull off. You can see it here on the quad vision replay. Nobody marking Cyril South. He was running down from the right wing. The left back for Philippine Army nowhere to be seen. And as it stands, it's now 1-0 for Tuloy FC.
Still had a lot to do there, Cyril South. Normally, you want to be using the pace of the cross in order to get that, to power the ball into the back of the net with your head, but there it bounced onto the floor and he did the clever thing just to guide it into the far corner. And that is the opening goal for Tuloy. They're off to a great start here, just 15 minutes into the game. Alike could not wriggle free.
Just going back to Cyril South's goal, that now takes his goal tally to 10 this season. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the first goal this season that he has scored with a header. Usually he's scored goals with his right foot and left foot. But how about a header this time around?
And normally they're just bangers from Cyril South, but this time a bit more of an understated one. But they all count, and that one perhaps one of the more important ones that he has scored as they get the go-ahead here against Army.
And what a relief that must be, considering their recent run of forms, being on the end of so many heavy defeats, to finally be the team taking the lead here tonight. That's the beauty of the classification round.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side for Philippine Army, they're going to be very frustrated here. They've had a decent start to this game, and they've been largely without incident at the back. And all of a sudden, just like that, they've been unlocked.
Philippine Army, they had the right idea heading into this game. Play stubborn defense, prevent these diagonal balls, these line-breaking passes from materializing. But defensive lapses, yet again, costing them dearly. If somebody was just able to mark Cyril South, prevent him from making that run, that header wouldn't have happened. But another lesson learned, per se.
Sawat assessing his options. Nunez, head on a swivel. Talked about John Lloyd Halike being a man to watch today. He's delivered an assist already, and he has been extremely influential, being very difficult to mark. And he's been proving both dangerous as a playmaker and a potential finisher. And here he is once more. Halike, left-footed attack. Still alive here, and it is the second goal for Tuloy off the rebound off that John Lloyd Halike shot. No, it's been disallowed.
That would have been a goal for John Henson Diaz, but as it stands, he looks to be in disbelief. Let's take a look at the replay here to find out what happened. He does appear to be offside there. Just couldn't get back into the line of defense.
Here, he's onside after that shot. Or was it?
In the initial build-up,
there's no flag raised on the opposite side.
There was no flag raised, so it's a little questionable on that particular decision. If you saw earlier in the build-up, Diaz was a bit offside, but he did not receive the ball.
Yeah.
Nor was he an actual member of the build-up play. He was just standing there.
Bit of a head scratcher, that one.
Well, it's not easy making decisions in the Philippines Football League, because let's take a look at the replay here again. Just find out what happened. You see the ball there with Denmark Orakoy looking to build up play. Henson Diaz, that's him leading the line right there. He was offside in that position, but he was nowhere near the attacking build-up. Only then, in this moment right here, was he onside.
Definitely onside there, and then you think about, was it a handball? But no, off his chest and into the back of the net. Tuloy should be 2-0 up here.
That was clean as can be. That was... Honestly, I have no words for that. That should have been 2-0.
Again, John Lloyd Halike central to what should have been a second goal. A stinging shot. Too hot to handle. Here he is, looking to win back possession.
Still can't wrap my head around what just happened, but Army should be thanking their lucky stars they're not 2-0 down right now. And instead, they have a pretty much out of nowhere chance to learn from that mistake and keep the score to a -1 difference.
20 minutes gone. Closing in on the halfway point of this opening period. Tuloy FC, real confident outing so far from them. It's been neat and tidy. Except for that sequence there.
Commentator's curse, if you would say so, Jing. But they're playing well. This is more of the Tuloy that we saw in the first round, and here comes another opportunity.
Orakoy, not the best cross from him on his left foot. Army now looking to find Ariola. Looking to venture forward here. Haven't had too many forays into the opposition half. It's one of the struggles that you will have playing a low block. It's how to transition forward effectively.
Considering that you're already 1 goal down, I get that the game plan here today is to play stubborn defense, but shouldn't it be time to be a bit more adventurous and try to take it to Tuloy and just venture up the pitch a little, especially on offense? Because so far, Jimwell Ariola is the only one running forward. They're going to want to change that.
Here come Tuloy. Looking for space out wide. Sao skips past this man. Looking for Halike, who was lurking just inside the box. And they've gotten a corner kick for their troubles.
How about Cyril Sao, the moment of individual brilliance, dropping his man like a bad habit. Unfortunate that he couldn't complete that play, but really just another example of how much potential this kid has.
Played short. Back to Saud. Nunez. Very quickly moving the ball around. Keeping their numbers forward as well. All the way to Orakoy. Nunez making a run in behind. The flag is up.
Okay, so now they raise the offside flag.
One thing standing out here, you're seeing a lot of the players of Army, their body language showing a lot of frustration as they watch the ball get pinged around by Tuloy FC. At the moment, they're chasing shadows here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
And of course, you'd have to understand their frustration. Heading into this game, they still know that they can see this opportunity as pretty much their chance to get that first 3 points of the season. But so far, like you said, Jake, they're just chasing shadows. This Tuloy team is tearing that defense apart, stretching them and finding opportunities to make progressive passes that has already resulted in a goal.
It's one thing, Ed, to have that pressure on you when you're defending, but another thing when you cannot venture forward either. You cannot create any problems for the opposition as they find themselves on the back foot once more here.
And the thing about Philippine Army, the last time that they played Tuloy was a favorable 2-2 draw. So at the very least, you already know that you can play against these guys. Why not venture forward like what Denmark Orakoy is doing now?
Bit of an awkward one to deal with. Army under a bit of pressure here. Just trying to get distance between their goal and the ball. It's a great first touch. Saud getting it out wide to Lopango. Lopango looking for a teammate. Cleared up into the sky. Dia unable to corral it. Regala under pressure. Just about able to keep that in play. Ariola. Forced backwards. Saivilla Senor gets it forward.
This is much better now from Army. And this is exactly what they're looking for. You've already earned a draw against Tuloy last time out. That should give you some confidence in knowing that you have the quality to play against these boys. Defending is one thing, but why not have the confidence to really play them at their own game? You have the quality to do that.
And it really is quite bizarre that That is the conversation that is being had here when heading into this contest. Traditionally, it was always about could Tuloy handle being able to play against the grown men of Philippine Army. Now it's Philippine Army looking to cope against the young men of Tuloy.
It just goes back to that age-old conversation of youth versus experience. You always love to see it when these two go at it, because it's really a 50-50 game. It could go either way. But with the way that things are going here tonight so far, Tuloy has by far been the more impressive team.
Player down, and it looks like it is Roy Kent Bedia who is struggling at the moment. Medical team coming on to the pitch as it looks like nangangailangan ng treatment dito ang veteranong player.
That's not a good sight to see for the Philippine Army staff, knowing that you don't have many options on the bench. In terms of midfielders, you have Jomar Ocedo, Dexter John Casing. You could play Johnny Toledo in midfield, but he's usually used as a forward. But yes, considering how limited your options are on the bench, and considering that you still have more classification games to play, you kind of want to have all players on deck. And losing one as early as now is going to have some pretty bad long-term implications.
Literally just have 5 outfield players to choose from. 6 on the bench with John Kent De Leriarte, an option in between the sticks. Free kick now. They sent it to the box, and Dilo spills that. Apparently he was challenged unfairly by Jimwell Ariola. A whistle is blown.
For those in the stadium, we are currently enjoying a very nice breeze here in the Rizal Memorial Stadium. It sure beats the scorching afternoon heat earlier in the first game that the crowd witnessed in the Maharlika Mendiola game.
Kailangan lasapin na natin to kasi minsan lang eh.
Yeah, you were commentating in that first game, Jing. How was the heat in that game?
It was hot up here in the stands. Even more so out there on the pitch, both from the heat of the sun and also the heat of the artificial pitch. You can see the quality of that game really improved as things started to cool down as that game wore on.
If you're one of the teams in the Philippines Football League, knowing that you're already playing in the summer, what you don't want to be is that team who plays in the 3 p.m. afternoon heat, because that will not be a lot of fun.
Right now, temperature's perfect for football. We've got this great game ongoing and still a massive one on the horizon. Players of Manila Digger now making their way into the stadium alongside their opponent. It should be a great game between them and Stallion tonight. Big implications on how the title race will pan out.
For that game later tonight, Stallion versus Manila Digger. 2 very defensively disciplined teams. One of them coming off a massive 3-0 result. Manila Digger thrashing One Taguig quite convincingly, might I add.
One Taguig, a team that has conceded very few goals this season, all of a sudden conceding 3 against Manila Digger. What a statement from this team that has also done very well on the continental stage. It could be the year and season of Manila Digger. But of course, Stallion might have something to say.
Now, Tuloy slowing the pace down. They already have 1 goal a lead. You don't really need to rush your opponents. You already have them exactly where you want them. So while you're at it, just force them to make mistakes and play your own game. That's exactly what they're doing here.
Just past the half-hour mark. Finding room here through Denmark Orakoy. Lupango, the willing runner. Medyo bitin lang yung pasa. So sanang hanapin si John Aguila.
Speaking of Manila Digger, a lot of them are already showing their support for their former teammate in Darwin Regala, number 45, who's already out there for Philippine Army.
Regala has been a welcome addition to this Philippine Army side. He's added a nice grit and bite to their defense. Alongside Jomari Sapal were key additions for them. However, there's a bit more work to be done here for Army. Meanwhile, Celis looking to slip in. Jimwell Ariola. Back to Celis. Control just let him down there. Tuloy survived that attack.
I guess that's one of the main opportunities for Tuloy to work on in the off season. When they have those clear chances on the break, they're looking to play the long ball to beat the last defender. So far, or for a lot of those chances, they haven't been successful. But if they can start nailing those opportunities, then their transition game will be a whole lot deadlier.
Army finding a bit of possession here inside the opposition half. A welcome change for them in this contest.
And it's about time too, because Philippine Army, they do have the quality to meet Tuloy in the middle of the park and play in Tuloy's own box or in their own half of the pitch. It's unfortunate that it took them around 30 minutes to realize that, but better late than never. And so far, the quality of their possession has been a lot better than what they've started with.
They could use with the ball doing a bit more of the running than they are. That one is going to go beyond the intended target. It's a lot easier on the energy systems when you have the ball, keep in possession, and letting the opposition do the running. As it stands at the moment, they're back to having to chase Tuloy around. They've come out of their shell here a little bit, Ed. They're engaging a lot higher up on the pitch.
So far, the main challenge for Army is that yes, they're finally having the confidence to push higher up on the pitch. But on defense, they are still a bit easily getting stretched apart. Position stats here, 58% overwhelmingly in favor for Tuloy FC, as they have another quality possession here for Harry Nunez, who is shoved directly down. That's a yellow card for the Philippine Army player committing the foul there. That is Jemar Cortez, as we see here on the replay, Jing.
It's the captain.
Ball.
Captain on captain.
Captain on captain violence here. Just completely shoves him in the ground. No, forgive me for laughing, but it's a bit comical, no?
Two hands, clear extension. Easy call for the referee. No hesitation with that yellow card.
It's an ideal spot here for John Lloyd Helique. He has the power to score it from this range, and he does have the accuracy to guide it into the back of the net. He does have to come up against the wall set up by Mark Anthony Bedia, as well as Mark Anthony Bedia himself.
Helique took a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick. Confirmation of that yellow card to Cortez. First one of the match. Gonna slide that ball through. Nunez has room. Nunez saved. And the rebound into the back of the net. Lupanco makes it 2-0 to Tuloy.
It's going to stand this time. That goal's not going to be overruled. It's 2-0 for Tuloy FC, courtesy of a fantastic play, a set-piece play, finished off by Justin Lupango, who was quick on the rebound. But what a piece of individual brilliance that was by Harry Nunez, gaining separation from his defender, firing it straight to Mark-Anthony Badia, who was not able to catch the ball. As you can see here on the replay, Harry Nunez pretty much on mark there in the box, tries to fire it to the far corner, and Justin Lupango, quicker than Darwin Regalo on the rebound, able to secure the goal to bring his team up 2-0 here tonight. Capping off a wonderful performance so far by Tuloy FC, as you can see here on the quad vision replay. More angles to enjoy that goal. Justin Lupango. We said it earlier, he's had a very solid season here for Tuloy FC, and that should now be his 7th goal of the season.
Looking to release Halike. Regala matching him step for step. A 2-goal advantage for Tuloy. Well-deserved lead for this young side. They've been dominant and dangerous. Halike looking to curl it. It took a deflection. It's in the back of the net. 3-0 Tuloy.
Welcome back to the score sheet, John Lloyd Halike. He's been out for a couple of games here and there, but he is finally back with a bang, scoring his 8th goal of the season, courtesy of a deflection by the Philippine Army defense. And how about that, Jing? In a 3-minute span, a 2-goal salvo, bringing the total up to 3 for Tuloy FC, who is running away with this game. John Lloyd Halike firing it from defense. You have to feel for Mark-Anthony Badia there. Nothing he could do about that. As you can see it there on the replay. And as it stands, entering the 38th minute, 3-0 in favor of Tuloy FC. Philippine Army, with each passing second, the game is slipping further and further away from their grasp.
Napakasakit para sa Army. Decent yung simula nila dito sa laro na to. And all of a sudden, bilis ng pagka-unravel ng larong to. 3 goals down. And the way back looking quite grim for them. They haven't really tested Michael Antilo Jr. They haven't done enough to cut open this Tuloy defense, who is looking particularly sturdy today. At mukhang mas nagbibigay laman dun sa sinasabi ng kanilang coach kanina na si Coach Capistrano na ibang Tuloy FC ang makikita natin ngayong araw, and certainly his words have been proving true as we're seeing a renewed clinical nature to this Tuloy side.
Pero nakita nga natin this entire game, this is pretty much the Tuloy that we've been wanting to see for such a long time. And here comes another dangerous chance, snuffed out by Mark-Anthony Badia. But as I was saying, Jing, this Tuloy, we've been wanting to see them for so long. We haven't seen this type of play from them for a majority of 2026. But here tonight, quick counter-attacking play, smart passes, smart positional awareness. These are traits that they've pretty much lost in the second round, but it's good to see them finding familiar form again.
A long-range effort from John Lloyd Halike. Shows his confidence even on his left foot, but that one nowhere near the target. One thing that we noticed from them at the start of the second round was they were giving the ball away a lot more sloppily than usual. And today has not been the case for them. They've been largely neat and tidy. They haven't forced the issue on many occasions. And they've chosen their moments very well. Lovely ball in behind. This time, anticipate ni Mark Anthony Bedia. Stepping on the brakes was Saud. A lot of blue shirts inside the box. Halike pulling the trigger, just wide.
But that is the John Lloyd Halike that this Tuloy squad has been missing. Dangerous from inside and outside of the box with that powerful right foot, looking to curl it into the far post, but just a bit wide that time. But Mark Anthony Bedia being put to work this entire first half. Look at a replay there by John Lloyd Halike. Clever idea, nearly made it. Just went wide off the post.
We're seeing the full array from John Lloyd Halike today. His ability to find space to receive the ball, ability to shoot with his left foot and right foot, and that is a clear foul. And yellow card given. It's a red for Cortez for that second yellow. And he's been sent off here inside the first half.
Things have just gone from bad to worse for Philippine Army. You can see it on the replay. Nunez winning the ball easily from Cortez, and Cortez again just pretty much dragging his arm across Nunez's face. Captain on captain offense there. Deserved yellow card.
Again, it's a silly one from him. First yellow card for a clear push, two hands. Not at all subtle in front of the referee. Easy yellow, easy decision for the referee. And that second one, arm across the shoulder, stopping a transition. Another clear yellow for Chris Melcayabyab. And he's been sent off here. And making matters even worse for Philippine Army. They're 3 goals down, now a man down. And he's the man wearing the armband. A leader comes off the pitch.
It's just been a comedy of errors by the Philippine Army captain, and you couldn't even call it errors. They were pretty much intentional. From the replay, you could kind of tell that he knew what he was doing. You can see there on the screen confirmation of the red card for the captain, Jamar Cortez, who has already stepped off of the pitch. Earned his first yellow by straight up shoving Harry Nunez to the ground, and earned his second by just slapping him across the face with his arm. Harry Nunez still feeling the effects of that previous incident. He has to be taken off the pitch. For now, he's not taken out of the game yet, but considering what this young man has gone through in the first half, they might want to explore just taking him off to preserve him from later games. You already have a 3-0 lead and a one-man advantage, so wouldn't be much of a loss if they take him out now.
2 options to take this one. Looking to curl that one left-footed, well off the mark. A good point there on Harry Nunez. Do you preserve him for the rest of the classification round? He's holding on to his shoulder. Still feeling the effects of that tug.
It's good to see him running back on the pitch. He's still holding that right side of his face, which I understand. If you're running at full speed and somebody just drags their arm across your face, you would feel that, of course. So props to this young man, fighting on. Let's see if he can hold up for the rest of the game, but Tuloy still may want to consider resting him for this game, for the remainder of the game perhaps.
Urakoy keeping the attack moving here. You certainly don't envy Army and the task they have at hand. Saud gets it back. Urakoy. He's got Lupango out wide. Justin Lupango.
2 minutes of additional time.
You hear the stadium announcer calling the added time. 2 minutes more to play. That's going to be a clear foul from Justin Lupango. And perhaps Jamar Cortez needs to take a page out of Lupango's book there. Slight tug, but nothing malicious enough to earn a yellow.
Still can't get over that first yellow card. Just straight up shoving your man to the ground. And the fact that what made it funny to me was that Nunez didn't really have that much of an advantage over Cortez. He was still pretty much right behind Cortez. And there really was no need to shove him to the ground, but things happened, and now he's off the pitch with a red card.
Oh, this is a tight one. We're almost level with the play from where we're seated. And Lupango wasn't that far behind, if he was at all.
And again, if you recall earlier in the game, a very questionable offside call that overturned what was supposed to be Tuloy's second goal of the game. How about that? John Lloyd Daliga dropping his man. And a Tuloy player dropping himself.
That was the man who actually scored the disallowed goal that we were just speaking of, Diaz. Could be 4-0, should be 4-0 perhaps.
It's just one of those moments where we're gonna leave it up to the viewer, to the audience. What did they think of that incident? I believe that was around the 21st minute mark, if I'm not mistaken.
Tilo finally with a task here. It looks like there's going to be a whistle here for halftime, and that'll do it. 3 goals scored by Tuloy. And a fantastic performance so far from this young side of Taketomo Suzuki. And they've really put the pressure on Army FC. Once that first goal went in, they have not looked back. It's been impressive all the way here. Tuloy FC putting on a show as they enter the break up 3-0.
Yeah, thanks so much, El to Galili. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit. Kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and what Taguig fans and other things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu. It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To all my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawa magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want for us to give them.
Halftime at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium, where Tuloy FC hold a commanding advantage over Philippine Army in their first match of this classification round. Like, Lopanco, and Saud on the score sheet. You could argue Diaz should be on that score sheet as well, alongside the rest of his Tuloy teammates. But here are the highlights from that first half. Fantastic opener. Halike setting up Saud for this opening goal.
Well, it's been, let's be honest, it's been a very one-sided game here tonight. We are seeing shades of what Tuloy is supposed to be. Clinical, smart attacking plays, right players at the right time. This is the goal that should have counted, but it was mysteriously called to be offside, even though Diaz was pretty much onside on that play here. But again, look at these highlights to see just how one-sided this game has been. Army barely having any chances, par that one. Here's one of the fouls committed by the captain, Jemar Cortez, who was eventually sent off from the game with a red card. That's right. If you're tuning into this game now, Philippine Army, not only are they 3 goals down, they're a man down. That is the second goal of the game, scored by Justin Lupango off the rebound, courtesy of a shot by Noti Nunez, the Tuloy captain. Lupango quick on the rebound to score his 7th goal of the season. This would be the 3rd. John Lloyd Halike back to prime form, firing from distance, courtesy of a deflection off, I believe, Jemar Cortez, scoring the 3rd goal of the game. Oh no, that was not Jemar Cortez, my apologies, but a deflection nonetheless. And we are 3-0 up heading into today's game. This is the foul that caused the Philippine Army captain to be sent off. Reckless foul, unnecessary foul, if I may say so myself. Philippine Army just struggling to really get themselves into this game, and it's such a shame, Jing, because we said earlier that they're supposed to be taking this game as the chance to get their first 3 points, but so far it's been anything but. The possession, 61% to 39, 12 shots, 7 on target compared to 2 and 1. It's been far and away a one-sided game.
And Philippine Army have put in some promising performances, particularly in the second round. It's not been the case today, but still have time to rescue something. In the previous match, our opener between Maharlika and Mendiola, lamang ng 3 goals ang Maharlika FC. It looked like it was going to be a comfortable victory with a clean sheet. In the end, natapos yung laban 3-2 with Mendiola really chasing that match up to the final whistle. So you never know in a game of football. We've seen some crazy things happen on a pitch. And the Philippine Army will be hoping they are able to mount an impressive comeback. Meanwhile, for Tuloy, ito yung matagal na nating hinahanap mula sa kanila that bihira nating nakita, particularly since the start of 2026. We always knew that they had the technical ability, but there were times when they would lose focus, particularly in the second half of the season, which has resulted in some very one-sided scorelines for them. But today, they seem calm, they seem composed, and they're putting their technique on really great display here tonight.
It's a breath of fresh air here, Jing, because the last time Tuloy was winning a football game in the PFL was in February 7 of 2026 against none other than Philippine Army FC. That game ended in a 6-2 victory for Tuloy FC. And ever since then, it's been a massive downhill slide for the boys in blue on the ugly end of some very, very lopsided results. So it's good to see them finding their sharpness, their attacking prowess yet again. And what a time to do that as they play their first game in the classification round with the hopes of catching up to Maharlika and possibly regaining that 8th spot in the table.
At siguro hindi na rin surprise, no, na nagko-coincide yung magandang laro ng Tuloy with the fact na kompleto yung lineup nila. Sabi nga natin at the start of the game, they're close to full strength here with Halike, Nunez, Saud, Lupango, all of their key weapons available to them. And they're all really impressing today. Rakoy! Into the arms of Bedia.
That would be Bedia's first real save of the game. He did make one earlier in the game, but that ended up in a rebound that Justin Lupango was able to finish. But yes, tama yung sinabi mo kanina, Jing. John Lloyd Halike, he's been dealing with a nagging injury in his recent games. He hasn't been at his best, but tonight he has absolutely reminded us who he is. A goal and an assist already.
Nunez finding space in behind. Halike trying to nod that one on. Celis. Ariola. Getting it forward here, John Celis. Looking for a way through. Able to get past his man. Puts it into the middle. Promising attack, John Celis. And that is a good save from Antilo. Should have been an offside flag there on Jimwell Ariola. Or he's camped out next to the goalkeeper.
Michael Antilo Jr., he pretty much didn't really have to do anything in that first half. But now, as the second half started, making a save already. A much better showing so far from Philippine Army, even though they are already a man down.
Player going down. He's clutching his face there, John Diaz. At mabibigyan ng yellow card dito si John Celis. He's disappointed with that call. Let's have a look at it here. This was the opportunity Celis created. Got the ball back, rifles it. You see Ariola there just behind the goalkeeper. Would love to see the contact made on Diaz that led to the yellow card. Ball into the box, missed header. Chance here. Halike unable to take advantage. Celis. Looking for Ariola. Hole was plugged by Diaz, but he's given it away. Ariola now. It's well read. Better pass now from Diaz. Seidel Saud's got a bit of room. Back to Saud. Halike. Diaz gets it to Nunez. Halike gets it on the return. Nunez stings the palms of the goalkeeper.
Philippine Army defense already being a lot more disciplined and a lot more compact. Able to prevent 2 shots on target in the second half already. A much better showing here so far, but they still have a massive mountain to climb if they even want a chance of getting back into this game.
It's a nice piece of skill there shown by De Guzman, but Army lose possession. Urakoy runs into Darwin Regala. And that will be a free kick for Army.
Denmark Urakoy, he has been a pest this entire game for that Philippine Army defense. We saw that earlier in the first half. He has had so many chances of bringing the ball up the field of play down the left-hand wing, really overlapping with his left winger in Justin Lopango. He had a chance to do it there again, and drawing the ire of the Philippine Army defenders and goalkeeper. Some elbows being thrown, perhaps. If we could see a replay of that, we can get a closer look at exactly what has happened here. But from what we can tell, some words are being exchanged back and forth.
Ito na siguro yung gustong maiwasan ng Tuloy, no, na magkaroon ng konting apoy para dito sa Philippine Army. It looked like they've been dead in the water for quite some time, especially after going 3 goals down. And medyo nararamdaman mo na yung frustration nila, yung disappointment nila, nawawala yung fire nila ngayon. Bigyan mo sila ng rason, and it's gonna be more of a battle here.
Tapos keep in mind, Philippine Army, by nature, they already play rough. You get them mad, they're gonna rough you up even more.
think here we go. It's starting to get a bit chippy out there. And ang challenge ngayon ay na kay Crismel Cayabyab para makontrol tong larong to. And Cyril Sawat getting involved. And one thing you will see with these Tuloy players is they are unafraid.
Tempers flaring out here tonight. Mark Anthony Bedia running all the way up the pitch to support his guys. The man on the ground, of course, is Denmark Orakoy, the player from Tuloy who was subject of the defense's ire not too long ago. So perhaps this is a get back for Army, just knocking him down to the ground there.
So now the officials have a bit of a challenge here. Cooler heads needing to prevail here. Ito, makikita natin kung ano nangyari. Players going down. And on the fall there, it looked like napabagsakan itong player. Ayun! May suntok. May body shot pala. Kaya naman. And now, nagkakatulukan. Sawat and Napolitano getting involved.
That was Jimwell Ariola delivering the body shot to Denmark Orakoy, no? Not only did he hit him with a flying elbow, but he followed it up with a body shot as well. That should have been a red, no?
It was not spotted by the referee. It was subtle enough. It was not seen. But again, ito yung mga klaseng tensyon na hindi kailangan ng Tuloy dahil 3 goals na sila. Boom! Hello!
Ouch.
And Orakoy, the obvious target because of his earlier involvement.
And Jimwell Ariola, he is not the lightest man on the pitch. So not only did Orakoy have to bear Ariola's full weight, but a body shot as well from the same guy. It just goes back to what I mentioned earlier. Army, they're already 3 goals down. They pretty much have nothing left to lose. So if you get them mad, they're going to do exactly that. They're just going to rough you up at this point.
And again, this is it. This is the challenge for Tuloy, is how do you deal with a team like this that provides a physical challenge like this? Do you shy away? You find a way to navigate this type of contest.
Taketomo Suzuki, the man on your screen, having some words for his players and for the Philippine Army players as well. Definitely a man not shy to let his opinions be known. Can only imagine exactly what he had to say there.
At the same time, you know, we've always wanted to see a bit more fire and fight from Philippine Army, but without crossing the line where it becomes dirty. And they're really flirting with the side of, you know, making this into an ugly affair. And we've seen a red card, it seems, to Sawat that was given. And so we are with parity here in terms of personnel on the pitch.
Jimwell Ariola, he himself is lucky for not getting a red card as well, considering how he obviously delivered a follow-up body shot on Denmark Orakoy. Luckily for him, the referee did not see it. But yes, parity restored in terms of men on the field. Just going back to the level of dirtiness in Army's play, it's not a good look for them considering they're playing against players nearly half their age.
Ariola trying to navigate a sea of blue. Tuloy able to get through the press. It's a straight red for Cyril Sawat, which is extremely disappointing because he's just come back into the lineup. Showcased a really good game today. Now he's going to be out for a bit of time due to the direct red, which Ed, I'm not sure he deserved. He might have thrown a punch, I'm not sure. It looked like he was trying to swat away the arm. Could have been conceived as a punch, in which case perhaps, yes, the red card would have been warranted, but it's a bit unlucky there.
I didn't think it was a punch at all. It was rather just an attempted shove towards an Army player. Now, granted, I could understand if it looked like a punch from the referee's point of view, but a red, it's pretty much undeserved considering the amount of fouls committed that I think were a lot more severe than that.
There is that saying, it's the reaction that is often seen by the officials and not the initial infraction.
But you know the game of football, it is what it is. You just got to move on with the hand that you're dealt. You may not like it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And as it stands, it's still 3-0 up for Tuloy. Parity restored in terms of players on the pitch, 10 versus 10. And still, Tuloy having the upper hand in terms of possession.
Para sa Tuloy, ang importante yung football nila ang magsasalita para sa kanila. And so far, they're showing that they've been able to calm the game down a little bit. Now, a couple changes to be made. We're going to see John Aguila be replaced here by Brian Sidney. We're also going to see Capistrano be removed for Dayandan.
Player number 3, Brian Sidney. And player number 15, Gian Capistrano, is replaced by player number 28, Robbie Dayandan.
It's a big moment here for Brian Sidney. This is his second official appearance in the Philippines Football League. His first appearance, he registered 34 minutes. Looking to make an impact here now in his second outing. And then with Romy Dayandan, this will be his 5th appearance tonight.
Brian Sidney amongst the youngest in the league.
Youngest indeed, a very youthful 17 years old.
Incredible.
To be honest, I forgot what I was doing when I was 17. How about you, Jing?
Probably not playing at the top flight of Philippine football.
Yeah, he's got that on us already.
And there is a goal for Jimuel Ariola as that one bounces through. Going through the entire sea of blue and into the path of the Army men.
Jimuel Ariola now scoring his 5th goal of the season, officially being Philippine Army's top goal scorer for the season of the Philippine Football League. You can see that beautiful free kick bypassing the Tuloy defense completely. Shai Villaseñor with a beautiful free kick. And Jimuel Ariola first to react, perfectly tapping it. As you see in the quad vision replay. Was that a deflection, perhaps, that caused Ariola to receive the ball a bit more easier?
Looks like he also landed on Antilo Jr. to add insult to injury. 3-1, no clean sheet. And like the match earlier today, this could be the start of a fight back for Philippine Army. Tuloy now getting a test of character after what looked to be a very straightforward affair for them at halftime.
And this is where Tuloy have to be careful. It doesn't matter if you've already scored 3 goals. You've already let one in. If you allow more defensive lapses like that, Philippine Army, who are already kind of pissed off to begin with, they're going to take that advantage and run full steam against you. You need to be prepared and to play a bit more compact and a bit more conservative on defense.
Nunez just a little too slippery, drawing the foul on Mark de Guzman. Pinapakita ni Jimwell Ariola why he remains one of the more dangerous players in the league. He may not be in the peak of his form physically. He is still very dangerous in and around the box. Even outside the box, actually. He's scored some very good goals this season. There's a player down now for Tuloy.
Jimwell Ariola, affectionately known as the dad bod of the Philippines Football League. But don't let that physique fool you. You give him a clear chance, he will absolutely make it count. And that's a closer look at the foul committed by Villaseñor. A little clumsy there. Luckily, he did not warrant any cards there. You don't want any more players to be on the books. If you are Philippine Army, you've already lost a man to suspension with a red card there.
Painful one here for Diaz. He's been clipped on the ankle. A look of concern from Taketomo Suzuki.
And he's pretty right to be concerned, because remember, Tuloy entered this game with pretty sparse bench, not a lot of options on that bench here. So it's going to be a bit of a selection headache to deal with the loss of a player as good as Diaz and replacing him with pretty much what you have on the bench.
Meanwhile, nakita mo si Ricardo Bisite, relax lang on the sideline. Quite pleased with how this second half has turned out. He's got one on the board. His team have come to life in the last 15 minutes. Nunez. Looking to get more involved as the captain. Pops it out wide. Great move! That one into the hands of the goalkeeper. A substitute getting involved. Dayan with the attempt.
Dayan showing what he can do himself, of a moment of individual brilliance. Unfortunately for him, Mark Anthony Badilla was on top of his game there. Speaking of on top of his game, how about Jimwell Ariola? Another clear-cut chance.
It's a great recovery. And the composure to get that one into Halike as well. Fantastic defending. Great cross. Not the best defensive header, and that one just over the bar from Lupango. Went for goal. Had Diaz as an option just in front of goal.
See there on the replay. Ariola had a clear-cut chance, but Siron South wait to stop the attack and drop a following defender there. Here's the latest chance by Tuloy. Lupango trying to replicate that second goal of the game. Henson Diaz throwing his arms out in frustration, letting his teammate know that he was wide open for the passing opportunity. Unfortunately, Lupango did not see it.
And a fourth goal would be massive for Tuloy. It'd really take the wind out of the sails here of Philippine Army.
And with 67 minutes on the clock, a fourth goal would pretty much be game, set, and match, therefore, in favor of Tuloy.
And Dilo forced with a near post save. Attempt from distance. Not a bad shot there from Dexter Casing.
That's what you have to love about Michael Antilo Jr. It doesn't matter if his team is winning or losing. You can always count on him to make those amazing reflex saves. He's done that so many times this season, bailing his team out on multiple occasions. And this time, helping preserve the lead his team already has. As here comes a corner by John Celis.
Headed goalwards, Antilo behind that one once more.
Staying ready as always, Michael Antilo Jr. A massive asset for his team. Perhaps he himself could be earning a big move to another PFL club next year. Who knows? Either way, a good season for him so far.
Left there for Halike. He's trying to play in Urakoy. Cuts over to his left foot. Bit of a wayward pass there. Attack breaks down a bit. Nunez trying to thread it. It's a wonderful pass. And he's been called offside, Lupango. He can't believe it. What a pass from Harry Nunez. I'm not sure that was offside, actually. But it looks like Lupango is going to be given a yellow card for what he said to the assistant after that flag was raised.
We have the replay here. How about Harry Nunez? Head on a swivel, knowing exactly where his guy is going to be. A pure line-breaking pass, pure quality from Harry Nunez.
Oh, it looked tight. It looked very tight indeed.
Tuloy coaching staff not happy. Taketomo Suzuki throwing his clipboard onto the ground. Could not believe that Lupango was issued a yellow card for that infraction.
Question is he upset at the referee or is he upset at Justin Lupango? You can hear him shouting, let's stay in the game. Let's focus on the game. Coach Taketomo Suzuki is big on how you react to certain situations and the character you show out there on the pitch.
Taketomo Suzuki, he's a known disciplinarian. He knows how young his squad are, and he makes it a point for his young squad to know to let cooler heads prevail, to show your character. He might not be happy at all with how Lupango reacted, just as much as he would be furious at the refereeing decision there. But yes, confirmation on your screen, Justin Lupango, yellow card for him.
Halike keeping possession. It's a wonderful ball forward. Chance here. Lupango dispossessed. Nunez stepping into the passing lane. Great feet. Nunez on the stretch. It is going to be a foul against Tuloy. Possession to Philippine Army.
More of the same in terms of possession here so far, Jing. Tuloy seeing more of the ball. Army having to run after it more. Committing a bit more fouls this time around. But still getting stretched apart a bit too easily in some occasions there. And here comes a ball cut out by the Tuloy defense. And yet again, the ball ends up with Tuloy.
And Denmark Urakoy now on the right side. He stood firm today, both defensively and offensively. And it's a great ball here from Harry Nunez. And that is fantastic goalkeeping. Mark Bedia anticipating the danger well.
Mark Bedia showing some sweeper keeper action there. Not just a man of the posts, he knows how to play the ball with his feet.
Meanwhile, Antilo equally aware of his surroundings. It's become a lot more of a lively affair here. There's a player down. It's Mark Anthony Bedia, who seems to be struggling here for Philippine Army. Seems to be struggling with his groin. That's going to be an opportunity for players to rehydrate. And Ricardo Besida has not moved from his position. He remains fixed on the sideline in this particular posture.
Now that you pointed it out, Jing, I don't think he's moved from that spot in the past, basically this entire second half.
I like how he's just outside of the technical area.
He's right on the line. He's just a chill guy. He's just enjoying the game here, managing his guys from afar.
Switching sides. Getting it forward here. Lupango. Halike joining the attack. Pushed forward. Lupango cutting inside. Opportunity. Second chance. Twice. Bedia to deny.
Bad groin or not, you cannot beat Bedia when he's on point.
Now, Ariola going the other way. Runs into trouble. Diaz picks up the pieces.
The wasted opportunity there by Philippine Army. Ariola had Celis running down his left-hand wing. He had the opportunity to unleash him there, but just held on to the ball a bit too long, tried to take it himself. And now Tuloy has a more dangerous opportunity here. Henson Diaz on the ball.
Fantastic setup, and what a shot from Brian Sidney. Another good stop from the goalkeeper. Brian Sidney. Urakoy gets it onto his left foot. Pulls the trigger. Deflected off his own man and out for a goal kick.
How about Mark Anthony Bedia? The performance he's showing in the second half, miles better than what he displayed in the first half. See a replay here. There's Diaz laying off the ball for Brian Sidney, but Mark Anthony Bedia, acrobatic saves here yet again. Shades of the same Bedia that held Maharlika to a 1-1 draw.
Not on the same wavelength there. Renz Gumban hoping that Ariola was going to spin back in behind. John Lloyd Halike! What a goal! Incredible! Spotted the keeper off his line. The audacity to take the shot and the quality to put it in the back of the net. John Lloyd Halike, take a bow.
Audacity is correct there, Jing. John Lloyd Halike, how dare you score a banger and then not even bother to celebrate it? A nonchalant celebration here from the young man. Takes the ball up basically from the halfway line, sees Bedia off his line, fires it all the way into the back of the net. Take a look at that replay. Picks his head up, sees Bedia way out of position, chips him from afar. 4-1 in favor of Tuloy. John Lloyd Halike back to his best, would you say?
How could you not celebrate that goal? The fact that his teammates are all nonchalant about it, it's like, yeah, that's kind of something that he does.
Perhaps they're so used to it in training that now that they've seen it in the game, it's not that big of a pop anymore. But still, how dare you score something that beautiful and then just keep your hand on your waist?
Incredible goal from John Lloyd Halike. Kanyang pangalawa ngayong gabi. And that is going to go down as our contender for the goal of the week. That's going to be a difficult one to take off or to outdo. That's going to be a tough one. Wow.
And PFL Bible, I know you're watching this. You better put Halike in Team of the Week because he has earned it. A goal, 2 goals, and an assist here tonight. Tearing Army to shreds single-handedly.
that should do it in terms of taking the spirit off or out of Philippine Army. Three-goal cushion re-established and done so in some style. Celis finding a bit of room.
Celis looking like the only Army player with any bit of energy left in his legs. Everyone else looking a bit tired out there.
Villaseñor spotting space out wide. Celis dispossessed by Halike. It's a 3-on-3 actually. Halike opting to slow things down.
Just judging by the body language of these Tuloy players, so assured, so confident. They know they have this game in the bag already, but let's not be too complacent now. The last time that they were complacent in this game, they already let a goal in, provided a lifeline for Army. So they better be careful here.
And this is the beauty of having Tuloy compete in the league. They played 20 games across 2 rounds, and now they're being tested in this fashion. It's been, I'm sure, a huge learning curve for them over the course of these last few months. And we've seen it with our own 2 eyes, just how much these young men have grown over the course of the season.
And what I really admire about Tuloy Football Club is that they just really want to play football. Prior to the start of this season, they held the Tuloy Invitational Cup. If I recall, they beat Army in the finals. Just a pure desire to get these boys out on the pitch and let them play. And so far, it's been a positive result this season for them. Granted, they didn't really take the league by storm as they would have hoped. But still, improvement is still an improvement. And this team that you're seeing now is miles better than the team during that made the debut back in 2024.
And it's not just a positive for Tuloy, but also for our national teams potentially, as we understand it. Quite a few Tuloy players involved in the recent under-23 selection with an exhibition displaying the talents that are most promising here in the Philippines at the moment. Nunez, Saud, John Lloyd Halike amongst those in the mix. And now Toves being brought in, player from the Northern Marianas. He's come on here for Justin Lupango, who's got a goal to his name, as he continues to have a fantastic season for Tuloy.
And if you recall, last season, Jing, Tuloy did not participate. Instead, we saw a Philippine youth national team, the core of which was made up of players from Tuloy. So that just goes to show how special these young men can be. A lot of their performances this season did not really reflect what they can do on the pitch. But how about this one? Marcus Toves threw on goal, snuffed out by the goalkeeper. Fortunately for Bidia, doesn't have to pick that ball out of his net. But yeah, as I was saying, these Tuloy players could really be something special if given the proper development.
And now they're going to be, mas hasa na sila ngayon. 20 games of preparing week in, week out, play against the best players in the Philippines. Long range attempt, ambitious effort from John Celis. Halike, what a game he's had today. A little bit of everything from him. The way he's found the pockets of space, the way he's kept the play moving, the way he's assisted his teammates, the way he's scored his goals. It's been an all-around performance from the young man.
Jim Ariola really feeling the effects of playing 82 minutes and some change. No longer able to run as consistently as he did in the first half.
It's a great ball! Fantastic from Oracoy. Put it on a plate and finished off in some style by John Rocky Grizola. Make that 5 for Tuloy.
And make that John Rocky Grizola's first goal of the season, courtesy of a beautiful cross by Denmark Oracoy, who himself has had a fantastic game tonight. An assist of his own. You see it here on the replay. Denmark Oracoy played left back on the first half, now right back in the second. Delivers it perfectly for John Rocky Grizola. Let's take a look at that again. A beautiful pass, beating every single Army defender. Grizola not marked properly. Perhaps they didn't expect him to get that ball, but in the end he did. And now Tuloy have scored their 5th. And Army, it's pretty much game, set, match for them.
What a crazy goal that was. And a right back crossing it in for the center back in John Rocky Grizola, who for some reason continued his run all the way into the box. And what a finish for a center back. Beautiful goal from Tuloy.
And really, this is Tuloy at their best. Every single one of these players can and will make that final run into the box, having full faith in their teammate to get that ball over where it needs to be, to just finish off the play. It's beautiful, really. Defender to defender connection, showing the attackers how to score. That's true football there.
Under the radar, we've seen Jimwell Ariola be withdrawn. I believe Acedo has checked into the match. Battery completely drained from Jimwell Ariola. Fresh legs on the pitch with 5 minutes to go.
You have to give credit where credit is due. Ariola already scored a goal of his own. Did the best that he could. But yeah, that really took the energy out of this man. And considering that he also played a game back on Wednesday,
yeah,
these guys are tired. They got to be tired.
Of course, medyo mataas din yung demands of energy pag people's elbow ka.
A people's elbow followed by a Superman punch. And Denmark Oracoy delivering a body shot of his own with a beautiful assist to score to help score Tuloy's 5th goal.
Yun ang magandang pag-usapan actually, no? Si Denmark Oracoy na-involve sa mga flashpoints sa laro natin, pero hindi niya hinayaan na masira yung laro niya, and he stayed in the game and continued to thrive, no? Even when he was moved over to the right side, and it's the perfect response for him. You go through the adversity and you respond by providing a beautiful assist to push your team further up in the score. Now 5-1, and it's an unassailable advantage at this point.
This is pretty much done and dusted, as we now see the confirmation of substitutions made by both squads. Vergara coming in for Tuloy, and for Army, Akiapat and Toledo coming in to the game as they try to see the final 4 or 3 minutes and some change up. But yes, going back to the point of discussion earlier, Jeng, Denmark Oracoy has been everywhere this game. And every build-up, every defensive interception, he's been right there, playing as the main stopper or as support. And now he has an assist to his name.
Alike looking to thread it into the path of Toves. I must say also the substitutions of Tuloy, they've shown a real positive impact. Brian Sidney rather, has been impressive since coming on. Here comes another attack for Tuloy. Torres, a willing runner up front. Doesn't have the numbers though. But here he is making a nuisance of himself. Ball recovered. Torres into space. Can he get some support here? Sydney arriving. Alike onto his left foot. Another good stop from Bedia.
Lovely stop from Bedia, who has not had a great game by his high standards, or his defense has not had a great game per se. Alike looking for his hat trick, already on a brace. Fantastic stop by Bedia on that occasion.
Not an easy technique as well on his left foot, keeping it down like that and generating that power. Bit of a curious corner from Tuloy. They keep possession. Alike looking for Nunez.
Clever idea there, but Nunez not really known for headers.
Look at that. Fantastic footwork from Brian Sydney. Attack still alive. Look at a curve. Nunez, what a stop from Bedia.
Mark Bedia, it doesn't matter if his team is down 10 or down 5. He will still pull those acrobatic saves out of nowhere.
Tilo lets it bounce into the box. Final 30 seconds of regulation.
But Brian Sydney, talk about individual skill from the 17-year-old.
Alike and a bit too lackadaisical with the ball. There's a bit of a worry that the classification round would be bland, or that some of the matches would lack meaning. But I think the first 2 matches of the classification round have shown the exact opposite. A pulsating affair between Mendiola as well as Maharlika in our curtain raiser. This one has proven immensely entertaining, particularly in the middle section of the second half, where things were balanced on a knife edge for a moment there, with Army threatening a comeback. And things getting a bit emotional out there on the pitch.
How about that ball by John Celis?
Certainly can't tell that these matches lack meaning, Ed.
One of the main concerns about the classification round when it was unveiled earlier in the season is that you're right, people thought that it wouldn't be as entertaining, considering that the Philippines Football League doesn't have a relegation system. But I completely disagree, because the classification round will feature teams that are of relatively the same level, and it was proven that the classification round can be very, very entertaining. Like you said earlier, the game that you called earlier today, that barn burner between Maharlika and Valenzuela PB Mendiola, and now this highly dramatic yet entertaining affair between Tuloy and Philippine Army, where we pretty much saw everything: red cards, fouls, frustration fouls, banger goals. It's been incredible so far, and I think it's a testament of exactly what's to come, and I do hope this system stays in place for a very, very long time.
John Lloyd Halige, halfway line goal, wow.
Still can't forgive him for not celebrating that.
Wala bang knee slide?
Like, alam namin na masakit sa turf, pero still, knee slide, please.
2 minutes of added time to go. You can see Taketomo Suzuki on the sideline pleading with his players. Guys, come out there, press. It's not like they're 4 goals ahead at the moment. And that's what you got to love about Taketomo Suzuki. It's all about the performance. It's not so much about the numbers up there on the scoreboard. It's about giving your best for 90 minutes and into added time.
It's a good mentality to instill in your young players, and it's a kind of mentality that would help them take their game to the next level. It doesn't matter if you're winning by 4 goals or being down 4 goals. As long as there is time on the clock, you give your best. That's exactly what these young men have been doing. So fair play to them. This is the Tuloy that we've been missing for so long.
Celis got a lot of power on that one, just beyond the crossbar.
Got a feel for John Celis tonight. He's been putting in the effort. He's been making the necessary runs here and there, making some clever passes, but unfortunately none of them have really come to fruition.
One of the bright spots for Army, that's for sure. Jimur Ariola, the other, having found the score sheet.
How about this chance? And look who is running up the wing again, Denmark Orakoy.
Toves, unable to get to it. Walang kapagod-pagod itong si Denmark Orakoy.
20 seconds left in the game. We have a corner here for Tuloy. Marcus Toves, a versatile player. He's naturally a midfielder, but this season he's been deployed as a center back, left back, and now it appears he is either an attacking midfielder or an out-and-out striker.
Nunez pulling the trigger, and that'll be one of the easier saves for Mark Bedia. And that'll do it. Final whistle from referee Chris Mel Kayabyab. What a match we saw unfold here between Tuloy and Army. Incredible action in this second half. We had 3 goals in the first half, and we saw another 3 goals in the second. Jimwell Ariola, the lone goal scorer for Philippine Army. 2 goals for John Lloyd Halike. Grizola adding the icing on the cake after Sawat and Lupango got the party started in that first half. Diyan nagtatapos ang ating pangalawang laban sa ating Saturday triple header. What a game we had here, Ed.
It's been a dominating performance. There's no way about it. Tuloy, as the coaching staff said earlier, we were going to see a new Tuloy, a new sharper Tuloy. That's exactly what we saw here tonight. This is the Tuloy that we've been waiting to see for so long. They haven't shown this level of aggression, this level of sharpness for a majority of 2026, but better late than never, as we finally see the attacking Tuloy that was missing for so long. And what a performance it has been. 5-1 victory.
And that was the goal from Jimwell Ariola. And all of a sudden the game sparked to life. But Tuloy responding in the best possible way after some near misses from Lupango. Pinakita nila that they have the quality and they had the character to gut it out after things got a bit ugly for a moment. And Mark Anthony Bedia denying what could have been a much uglier scoreline for Army. Let's take a look at the full-time statistics. 60-40 in terms of possession, 21 shots for Tuloy, 14 on target, 5 of them in the back of the net. And you can see, medyo nabuhayan talaga ang Army in that second half. 7 shots, 5 on target. And that'll do it for us here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. For my partner Ed Lisaba, ako po si Jing Hamlang. Salamat sa inyong panonood ng Philippines Football League. We still have one more match to look forward to. Manila Digger up against Stallion. It should be a great game, so make sure to tune in to that. But for us here, good night. Thank you for watching. God bless.
Ano ang masasabi mo sa naging takbo ng laro nyo ngayong araw?
Ang masasabi ko sa laro namin ngayon is deserve po namin manalo kasi po araw-araw po kami nagtitraining and kailangan po namin makuha yung spot ngayon sa qualifiers po namin.
Sa tingin mo, ano ang mga bagay na naging maayos para sa inyo sa larong ito?
Siguro naging maayos kami sa sa possession namin ngayon and sa tulungan. Kasi bawat isa sa amin is tinuturo palagi sa amin ng coach namin na magtulungan lang kami para manalo po.
May mensahe ka ba para sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta sa inyo?
Sa mga sumusuporta po sa amin is marami pong salamat. salamat din po kasi lagi po kayo nandyan para sa amin, sinusuporta kami. Thank you po.